Today let's talk about a big issue with modern smartphones. Now, the issue I'm going to talk about is basically the green line issue. Now, what is the green line issue? It's basically when a tiny green line appears on your the phone screen that you can't do anything about. You can't restart it or change the software or anything, and it won't go away. It's there. What happens is this line initially occurs as a tiny line that's barely noticeable. Then it becomes more and more, and because it becomes brighter and brighter and becomes a full-on line that's at full brightness. You cannot change it with the brightness. Even if the phone's at maximum dimming, the line will be showing at maximum brightness. And this is a problem that's occurring with all smartphones. At least all smartphones, for the past 2 or 3 years, it's become that common. Now, I personally have experienced this myself. My phone had this issue a couple of years ago. First, a small line showed up. Oh yeah, I forgot. First, a small line showed up. Then it became brighter, and then another line showed up, and that became brighter, and another, and another. And at this point, I think it has almost 10 lines or something. A lot of bright ones and a few dull ones. But yeah, I've also seen other phones with entire displays full of lines, and it's basically unusable. I mean, even my phone's unusable, but you really can't see anything on those phones. And I thought this was just a manufacturing issue, and it's not that big of a deal, and maybe it's rare and I was just unlucky. But recently, even my cousin, her phone, the phone that she bought, I think 2 years ago, it started producing green lines, and that was from a different brand and a different price point, and I was shocked. I didn't think that it was becoming, to think that it was two people that close and know each other also had the same issue. So how common would that issue be? I mean, it had to be a little ironic, because it had to be a huge coincidence, right? Or it's that either that or it's super common. And that's why I'm decided to make this video, because this is a big deal. Because big deal for everyone who's trying to buy a new smartphone or thinking of upgrading their old smartphone, because this could happen basically to any phone, to any brand. Now, I heard that LCD displays don't have this problem, and it's OLED displays that tend to have this issue. Now, I'm not sure about that or not, but I have seen a lot of older phones with this problem. And the majority of phones these days are transitioning into OLED, and after a certain price point, they are all OLED displays. So this has become a tricky situation where people cannot upgrade their phones because they might get this problem. And yes, I know the phones have warranties and all that, but another problem with this issue is the green line issue doesn't seem to show up immediately. Now, they tend to show up after a year at least, but the common thing I've seen is them showing up after a couple of years or more than that. So basically, it falls outside the warranty, and you can't do anything about it. Now, a lot of manufacturers are aware of this and offering screen replacements, which is a great thing. And they're offering screen replacements for free. But that's another problem. I also heard that people, even after they've replaced their displays, the new displays also start getting the same issue. And that's a big problem. Now, I don't know exactly why this green line issue occurs in phones, but from what I've heard, and according to the rumors, it's because it has something to do with the software update, and after some software update, that the phones the phone's electrical circuiting that's connecting to the display. I mean, something goes wrong in one of those circuits, and because of that, the display gets the connection gets damaged, and there's a green line, and the display cannot manipulate the colors, and so it just shows one single line, which you cannot change at all. And that may be true or not, I'm not sure, but that seems to be the rumors going on. And if that's true, even if you replace the display because the connection's damaged, the new display is going to get damaged the same way as well. And I also heard that after the phones with certain softwares from certain years, updates from certain years, don't get this issue. But I don't think that's true, because I still think modern phones still seem to be having these issues. And I don't think there's a clear cut. I don't think the software thing's actually that accurate, personally. I think it's something with the actually wrong with the display, that at a certain point it gets damaged. So this is a serious issue, and honestly, one good thing that could come out is because this is becoming so common that the manufacturers are really going to have to look into it and try to fix this, and make sure this doesn't happen, because it's really going to start affecting their sales. I mean, even if everyone has to buy a smartphone, manufacturers want people to buy their most expensive smartphones, and if those smartphones that you spend so much money on gets this kind of a damage, and people aren't going to be willing to take the risk, and they're just going to buy cheaper phones, because at least you won't have to spend that much money to replace the display, because the more expensive phones, the displays are really expensive. So yeah, I think it's going to come to a point where that they're going to fix this. So all I have to say to the people who are looking to buy new smartphones, or for the first time, or well, the people who are buying smartphones for the first time, I don't know what to say. You're probably buying it because you absolutely have to need it, and for those guys, just go for the leap and buy it. But anyone who keep holding on to their own old phones and thinking of upgrading,